So this video is going to answer 4 questions that a lot of IELTS test takers have about the IELTS speaking test. The first question is about not having English speakers to practice speaking English with. This is a common problem for many IELTS test takers. There are a couple of things you can do. You could join a Skype group for IELTS speaking practice. You can also find speaking partners or native speakers in Google Hangouts, or you could form your own group with other people you know who are planning to take the IELTS test. It's not always necessary to have access to a native English speaker to practice speaking specifically for the IELTS test. You can practice by yourself. You can practice with other people. The more you speak English, the more confident you will become, and the better your performance in the IELTS speaking test will be. You can practice speaking general English in many groups online and with other people you know who speak English. You can practice speaking by yourself. You can record yourself and listen to yourself speaking, analyse what you hear and improve the way you speak. You can also practice speaking with other people who are not native English speakers. The more you practice speaking English, the more confident you'll be, and this confidence will help you improve your IELTS speaking performance on the day of the test. If you need specific help with pronunciation in English or other areas of English speaking, then it's probably going to be best if you organise classes with a native English teacher to solve those problems before you actually take the IELTS speaking test. The second question is about asking the IELTS speaking examiner questions during the test. The simple answer is yes, you can. In part 1, the examiner can only repeat the question to you. But in part 2 and part 3, if you don't understand the question, you can ask the examiner to repeat the question or ask him or her for an explanation. But don't do this too often because it will affect your score. The third question is about if you're talking about or describing something from your own culture or your country, for example, food or clothes or a tradition or a custom which is specific to your country, can you use the word in your own language to describe it? Again, the answer is yes. You can use a word from your own language to describe something which is specific to your own country or culture. It's better if you know how to paraphrase it or roughly translate it into English, and you should also explain this. For example, my mother likes to make nasi goreng, which is fried rice in English. If you don't know the exact translation or you don't know how to paraphrase it, then you should be prepared for the IELTS examiner to possibly ask you questions about it, and you should try and explain exactly what it is. The fourth question is about the bullet points which appear in part 2 of the IELTS speaking test. This is called the cue card topic or the long turn speaking. It's not essential to cover all 3 bullet points when responding to the cue card topic, but it is a good idea. Your answer should be relevant to the topic. So don't just ignore the bullet points and decide to talk about something else that you're more comfortable with. It is actually a good idea to use the bullet points as a guide for your talk. They should help you organise your ideas, and then you can follow those ideas as you respond to the topic. Use the 1 minute that you're allowed to make some brief notes about what you want to say in your answer and refer to those notes while you're speaking.